nothing's moving, like time forgot my name. Your shadow lingers in the doorway, but you don't stay the same. I reach for what we used to hold, in the glow of fading nights, but all I find is empty air and yesterday's light. I thought love would find a way through every word we couldn't say, but now I'm standing here alone, where you let go. You left me hanging in yesterday's light, caught between wrong and right, every moment frozen in time, where you were still mine. You left me hanging in yesterday's light, where everything felt right. Now I'm lost in what we were and what we couldn't fight. I hear your voice in quiet echoes through every empty room, like a memory that won't fade out or give me any room. I try to walk into tomorrow, but something pulls me back to every place you used to be, and every love we had. I keep telling myself you're gone, but my heart keeps holding on to a moment I can't leave. Oh, set free. You left me hanging in yesterday's light, in the glow of what we knew. Every dream we almost touched still feels like it's true. You left me hanging in yesterday's light, and I don't know how to move, 'cause every step away from you still leads me back to you. Maybe time will pull me through, but it keeps pulling me to you. In every shadow, every line, you're still alive. If I could step beyond this place and let go of your trace, would I finally feel okay, or just fade away? You left me hanging in yesterday's light, and I'm still standing here towards me, where you left a part of me. You saw it in my trembling hands, the words I couldn't say. A storm was rising in my chest, but I kept it all at bay. I was standing on the edge of everything at stake. Just one more breath I would have fallen, but you turned away. I was ready to fall apart, to show you every broken part, but you couldn't stay to see what I was about to be. You turned away before I could break, before the tears could fall in place, before I gave you everything. I never showed my face. You turned away before I could break, before I finally let you in. Now I'm left with all the words I never said back then. I replay that moment slowly, like I could change the end, like I could stop you from leaving and make you stay again. You were already walking out before I found my voice, and all the truth I held inside was lost without a choice. I was reaching out too late, trying hard to change our fate, but you were gone before I knew what I had to do. You turned away before I could break, before I showed you who I am, before I let the silence go and let you understand. You turned away before I could break, and now I feel it every day. All the pieces I held back still haven't found their way. Maybe I was always just too late, standing still while you walked away, and every word I couldn't say still haunts me now. If I could go back to that night, I'd let it all come crashing out. But time don't wait for hearts like mine that hesitate. everything I feel. Before I broke, you walked away. Now all I am is what I couldn't say. Pictures of forever are captured in a moment's light. Every smile felt like a promise we would never say goodbye. But the colors started changing right before my eyes, like a memory left in daylight, slowly losing life. Didn't see it fading then, I just kept holding on again to something slipping out of frame I couldn't save. Love faded like Polaroids in the sun, every shade coming undone. What was clear is turning gray, blown away by yesterday. Love faded like Polaroids in the sun. All the warmth we once had gone. Now I'm left with what remains, faded lines and broken names. I still see us in those moments, frozen in a softer time, where everything was still in focus and your heart was close to mine. But reality kept shifting, like a picture losing form, and what we thought would last forever couldn't weather through the storm. I tried to keep the colors strong, but they were fading all along. And every memory I hold feels worn and old. Love faded like Polaroids in the sun, every detail coming undone, every promise left behind, barely visible in time. Love faded like Polaroids in the sun, and I didn't want to see that what we had was slipping through faster than it seemed. Maybe some things aren't meant to stay, they just slowly fade away, leaving shadows in their place we can't erase. If I could hold those colors tight, keep them safe from time and light, would they still belong to me, or fade the same?
Love faded like Polaroids
see us too. You spoke in dreams that felt like promises, like forever had a name. I held on to every moment, like nothing could ever change. We built a world between the silence, where everything felt true. But something in the way you loved me never fully broke through. There was always something missing in the words you wouldn't say, like a door you never opened, but I stayed anyway. I stayed too long, and you're almost forever, holding on to what we could be. Every promise felt so close, but never close enough for me. I stayed too long, and you're almost forever, where love never fully grew. Now I'm left with what we were, what we couldn't make true. I remember how you held me like I was all you had, but your heart was somewhere else, in a place I couldn't stand. Every time I tried to reach you, you were just out of view, like a dream I couldn't wake from, or a truth I never knew. I kept hoping you would stay, that someday you'd find your way to the love I gave so free, but you never did for me. I stayed too long, and you're almost forever. Through the nights I should have left, through the tears I tried to hide, and the love I gave my best. I stayed too long, and you're almost forever, and now I finally see that almost love is not enough to hold on to me. Maybe I was scared to lose, even knowing I would lose all the pieces of myself, trying to keep you. If I could go back to the start, would I still give you my heart, even knowing in the end you'd tear it apart? I stayed too long, and you're almost forever, but I'm learning to let go of a love that never was, something I could hold. I stayed too long, and you're almost forever, but I'm finally moving on, with every step away never mine. I stayed too long and crossed the line. Was breathing slow around us, like it knew what we would lose. Every shadow leaned in closer to watch us come undone. You held my face so gently, like it might just slip away. And in your eyes I saw it, we were running out of days. No need for words between the lines. We felt it in the passing time, like something fragile breaking through before it disappears. We kissed like the world was ending softly, like goodbye was in the air. Second felt like forever, but we both knew it wasn't there. We kissed like the world was ending softly, like we couldn't stop the fall, holding on to something it all. Your hands were trembling on my skin, like they didn't want to leave. But there was something in your silence that I couldn't make believe. I tried to stay inside the moment where everything felt right, but even in the way you held me, I could feel goodbye. We were standing at the edge of every word we never said, and every breath we couldn't hold was slipping into night. We kissed like the world was ending softly, in a quiet kind of pain. Every heartbeat breaking slowly, like we couldn't stay the same. We kissed like the world was ending softly, every tear we try to hide, it says goodbye. If I could stay inside that night, would it still feel just as right? Or would I see it clearer than the way it ends? We kissed like the world was ending softly, and I still feel it now. Every time I close my eyes, you find me somehow. We kissed like the world was ending softly, and maybe that's the truth. Some loves burn their brightest light right before they lose. We kissed like goodbye, fell in slow, soft goodnight. We were perfect in the beginning, like nothing could go wrong. Every moment felt unbreakable, like we knew where we belonged. But something slowly shifted in the words we couldn't say, like threads coming undone in the fabric we had made. I saw the cracks before the fall, but I kept holding through it all, trying to keep us strong, even when it felt so wrong. I held on to you through the unraveling, through every tear and every doubt. When everything was falling apart, I couldn't let you go somehow. I held on to you through the unraveling, even when you slipped away. I was trying to save a love that was already fading. I remember how you looked at me like you were already gone, but your hands were still around me, like you were holding on. Every promise turned to silence, every truth too hard to face. We were standing in the ending, but pretending we were safe. I kept reaching through the pain, but nothing ever stayed the same. And every moment that we stayed just slipped away. I held on to you through the unraveling, through the quiet breaking down, through the nights we couldn't fix or turn around. I held on to you through the unraveling, and I didn't want to see that what I was holding on to was already leaving me. Maybe love don't always fade at once. Sometimes it breaks piece by piece. In every moment we deny what we can't keep. If I could go back to that place, would I still hold you the same? Even knowing in the end you wouldn't stay. I held on to you through the unraveling, and I still feel it now. Every piece I couldn't save still finds me somehow. I held on to you through the unraveling, and maybe I always will, 'cause some loves don't let you go, even when they're still you were gone. Night falls quiet on my shoulders, like a memory I can't shake. Every breath feels a little colder since you walked away. I reach out in darkness, like you're still standing there. And for a fleeting second, I still feel you everywhere. It's like a ghost I can't release, a warmth that lingers over me in every space you used to be. You're still alive. I still feel your hands in the cold air, like they never really left me. Every touch we used to share still finds its way to me. I still feel your hands in the cold air, in the silence of the night. Even when I'm all alone, you're still holding me tight. Walk through rooms that know your name. Every corner speaks of you, and nothing ever feels the same. No matter what I do, I try to let the feeling every time the air turns cold, you come back to mind. I tell myself you're really gone, but something keeps holding on, and every breath I take alone still carries you. I still feel your hands in the cold air. Through every tear I try to hide, every piece of what we were still lives inside. I still feel your hands in the cold air, and I don't know how to let go. 'Cause even in your absence now, you're all I know. Maybe love don't disappear, it just stays a moment's here. In every touch we can't replace, in every empty space. If I could hold you one more time, would it finally ease my mind? Or would it only make it clear with a love that isn't here, but still has more to give. I still feel your hands in the cold air, and maybe I always will, 'cause some hearts don't let you go, even when they heal. Cold air still holds you in my hands. I still know you. We were standing in the silence with 1,000 things to say, but every word stayed frozen and slowly slipped away. You looked at me like something was breaking in your chest, but neither one would risk it or lay our hearts to rest. There was truth behind our eyes, hidden in our goodbyes, but we let it drift away before it found a way. Love drowned in the words we never said, and every thought we kept instead. Left unsaid now echoes in my head. Love drowned in the words we never said, before we even faced the end. We were losing everything without knowing when. I replay the quiet moments where we almost crossed the line, where one word could have saved us, just one honest sign. But we held on to our silence like it would keep us safe, never knowing it was slowly pulling us away. Every pause became too deep, every promise incomplete, and the truth we tried to hide was already goodbye. Love drowned in the words we never said, in the tears we never shed, truth we couldn't face, till it slipped beyond our reach. Love drowned in the words we never said, and now there's nothing left but a silence full of us and everything we kept. Maybe if we'd spoken then, we could have found a different end, but fear was louder than our hearts and tore us both apart. If I could go back to that place, I'd say every word I chased, but now it's just a memory that never set us free. Love drowned in the words we never said, and I still feel it now. Every breath, every regret still finds me that might have been if we had crossed that line. We never said what we felt, and now we're left with nothing left. Spoken words that sounded certain, like forever had a place. Every promise felt so perfect, written softly in our space. But something underneath was breaking, in the things we couldn't see. Like a truth we kept avoiding, didn't let us be. We try to hold it all so tight, afraid to let in too much light. But love needs air to stay alive, and we were running out of time. We were a promise that couldn't breathe, holding on too desperately. Every word we tried to keep only pulled us underneath. We were a promise that couldn't breathe, too fragile to be set free. Now I'm left with what we were and what we couldn't be. I remember how you held me, like you never would let go. But even in your arms I felt a distance I didn't know. Every silence grew heavier, every moment lost its air. We were standing in a love that was never really there. I kept hoping we could survive, but something deeper couldn't hide. And every breath we tried to take felt harder than the last. We were a promise that couldn't breathe, lost inside what we believed. Every dream we tried to save slowly faded into gray. We were a promise that couldn't breathe, and I finally understand that love can't live inside a lie, or something we can't Maybe love needs truth to grow, even when it hurts to know still feel it now. Every piece we try to hold couldn't show us how we were. A promise that couldn't breathe, but I'm learning how to live, letting go of what we were and all we couldn't give. A promise without air still lingers everywhere. You came to me like a whisper, soft as shadows in the night. Every touch felt like forever in a fading kind of light. I tried to hold on to the moment like it wouldn't slip away, but something in the way you loved me was already turning gray. I felt it drifting through my hands like something I couldn't understand. A love that never learned to stay, just fade away. Your heart drifted like smoke through mine, soft and gone in borrowed time. Every beat we tried to share faded into empty air. Your heart drifted like smoke through mine, leaving traces I can't find. Now I'm holding what remains of a love that couldn't stay. I remember how you held me like you never would let go, but your warmth felt like a moment I was never meant to know. Every promise felt like silence, wrapped in words too weak to stay. And I watched you slowly vanish in a love that slipped away. I kept reaching through the haze, trying not to feel the change, but every breath just carried you further out of you. Your heart drifted like smoke through mine, through every tear I couldn't hide, every like smoke through mine, and I couldn't make it stay. Now I'm lost in what we were and what we let decay. Yeah. Maybe some loves aren't meant to last. They disappear just like the past, and every breath we try to keep, they slip too deep. If I could gather what we lost before it vanished into dust, would it still belong to me? Or drift away? Your heart drifted like smoke through mine, but I still feel it in my soul. Every trace you left behind still keeps me from letting go. Your heart drifted like smoke through mine, and maybe that's the truth. Some loves don't burn, they disappear, like smoke that once was you. Like smoke, you slipped away, but still you live in yesterday.